welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzogoose, back with you for another comic review, talking DC Rebirth, Batgirl, issue number 1. This book was actually supposed to come out a couple of weeks ago. It got delayed for whatever reason, not sure, but it came out this week, so here is your review. This is written by Hope Larson, with art by Raphael Albuquerque of Huck fame, most recently, and colors by Dave McCaig, letters by Darren Bennett, and Raphael Albuquerque also did the cover. And this particular book, it opens up with this fighting scene between Batgirl and this schoolgirl-looking girl who is attacking this kid named Kai, or this guy named Kai. And we don't know why. She's talking about some formula that she needs, and Batgirl's come to the rescue. We then jump back 24 hours earlier as Batgirl arrives in Okinawa, Japan. At the beginning of this story, we learn that she's staying in a hostel, and she talks about, okay, success hasn't changed you at all, Barbara. And lo and behold, her childhood friend Kai happens to be her roommate in this hostel. So they reconnect and they reminisce about how they were both cops' kids, and how her dad kind of came down on both of them when they were kids and everything. And it's kind of cool. They go out for octopus tentacle and for beers after that and stuff like that. It's this nice kind of slice of life, backpacking through the Far East kind of thing going on, and I appreciate that, because it was kind of like the opening of a movie when you know that there's some serious plot coming, and it's just kind of that calm before the storm. But we had that opening that we know that storm is definitely coming. So we learn that Batgirl is actually there to meet this woman who used to be a superhero in the 1940s, and she was known as Fruit Bat. Of course. And now she's 104 years old, and she's still around, she's still alive, and she meets her later on, and I don't want to spoil too much of what happens, but let's just say Fruit Bat is alive and kicking, and literally. So it's kind of an interesting thing. We kind of catch up to the point where the schoolgirl attacks Kai, and she's looking for this formula, and at this point Batgirl realizes that, well, Kai's kind of in trouble again, and apparently we get the idea that he's kind of that guy. He attracts trouble, and he's kind of zeroed in on the secret of Barbara's, and we'll see how that all plays out. So now they're on the onset of this mission that Batgirl had no idea she was going to be dealing with, but now she's in the thick of it, and it looks like she might be heading to Singapore for some MMA. Okay? I'm willing to follow it. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this story. I love Barbara's character here. I thought her voice was perfect. It was dead on her. She references kind of finding herself, leaving her past behind, kind of delving into the future and into the next chapter for her life, which I appreciate, because everybody that's heard me talk about the previous Batgirl run knows that I had a little bit of a problem with her characterization, but now she's kind of started to come back into her own, and she's finding herself again, and I like it, and I kind of like where she's at now, because we know that eventually she comes back with Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, which I gave it a 5 out of 5. We know that she comes back and she's that character. So this is kind of the journey from that previous run in the New 52 to that Batgirl and the Birds of Prey character, and this is what happens in between that, and I appreciate that. I kind of like the way it's going. Art-wise, really solid art. I really do like the art style. Raphael Albuquerque, he's a fantastic artist. I love Huck. It's funny, Kai looks like a dark-headed Huck. If you look at him, he's built the same way. His face is the same. It's really funny. If you've read Huck, you see Huck in Kai. But overall, the art is fantastic. Some great background scenery. It's a more what's the word? It's a little bit sketchy, but it's more like almost a watercolory kind of look to it. It's a very limited palette. You've got yellows and greens and everything in the colors. I'm not sold on the coloring style because it's Batgirl. It kind of fits because it's in Japan. So it kind of fits the tone of the story and of the backdrop of the story, but it's not as solid and vibrant as you kind of expect in a superhero book, in a Batgirl book specifically. There are some scenes where it is brighter and more colorful when she's in costume, but before we get to that, it's very yellow, yellow and green, and it kind of overtakes it a little bit. Which, that's fine if that's the style they're going for this story arc. I hope it changes once she gets back to Burnside or Gotham or wherever she lands. But I thought that was my really only nitpick for this story was the coloring style a little bit. The lettering, it's an interesting way that they went about to show the Japanese speech instead of your traditional less than, greater than symbols at the beginning and end and with a caption and everything. The text for the Japanese, for the dialogue spoken in Japanese, is red, and at the very beginning you'll see Japanese letters at the bottom of the balloon, kind of attached to the balloon to show that, hey, this is translated from Japanese. So I appreciated that. It was a nice little touch, something a little bit different. The caption and balloon styles kind of match the roughness of the art, where I said like the art is a little bit sketchy. The letterer kind of made the balloons and the caption boxes a little bit rough and kind of wavy too, more hand-drawn looking instead of your typical computer lettering, which I appreciate that. I thought it was a nice touch to kind of match the style of the art that way. So overall, I think it's a beautiful book. The story is interesting. Maybe you're not going to be a fan of her being abroad, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it in the way that Batman at one point in time went abroad to find himself and to kind of learn from people and kind of hone his skills, and I feel like that's what Batgirl is doing now. So in that respect, I kind of like the story and where it's headed, and this was a fantastic first issue. Not the most new reader friendly, I will say. Like I said, they did touch on her previous past a little bit, but nowhere near to the point where if you don't know Batgirl at all, you're going to be able to pick this up right away and know who this character is. So a few little points or little marks off for not being completely new reader friendly for a number one issue, but it is a great start to a new story. And like I said, you do get her character a little bit, you do get a little bit of that background. So for me, this was a 4 out of 5 for Batgirl number 1. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you thought of the story, where it's taking her, of these new characters we're getting introduced to. If you thought it was new reader friendly, if you felt lost at all, or if you felt like right on track with it. If you're a new Batgirl reader, I'd love to hear what you think. If you like the art style being a little bit more sketchy, and the coloring especially, because I'm curious if other people like the coloring or not, or if you think it fits Batgirl. So please leave your comments in the comments below, and let me know. So that's going to wrap it up for this review. Check out all the other Rebirth reviews and all the other reviews and content here on Comic Frontline. All the Rebirth reviews will be up today probably, and more content coming out through the week. And for me, check out lastnumberpress.com, zone4podcast.com, and of course comicfrontline.com. And until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you.